Welcome to part 8 of the 2023 NFL Draft and Review. Today we will be looking at the Cleveland Browns draft class. And this is kind of a puzzling class to me. The Browns are drafting like a team that doesn't have substantially bigger problems. And it really confuses me because pretty much everything that I have looked at, salary cap, roster structure, everything, kind of implies to me that even if Deshaun Watson shakes the rust, the Browns are going to collapse within about 3, maybe 4 more years. And it's not like they're a contender as it stands, so it's going from you got your foot in the door to being mediocre just to go back to being horrible. So we'll go over here and start to see a little bit of why I say that. And the first pickup is wide receiver Cedric Tillman. Now, stat-wise, Tillman does not look like a particularly special receiver. He did have a pretty good fourth year at Tennessee, 64 catches, 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, but I haven't really seen anyone say that Tennessee was exactly special at throwing the football, so I'm a little weird on this one, so I don't really see the value here. The biggest thing is, though, I will say this is probably on paper the best pick because, as you can see, the Browns wide receiver room is nothing really special. It's pretty much just Amari Cooper. You've got Marquise Goodwin, Donovan Peoples-Jones in the room, but none of them have really shown the ability to really step in as more than maybe a middle-end number 2 sort of guy. So we'll go over here to take a look at Cedric Tillman, see if he looks a little better than the pick looks on paper.
Staple this offense, tempo and spacing. The tempo there at the top of your screen.
Hooker over the middle, complete for a Tennessee first.
For this defense, look, when your offense is this explosive, you don't have to be it, like I said earlier.
The last few years, you can't just go out and say, oh, that's an air raid team, or oh, that's a team that throws the ball too much, or they spread things out. We've had to...
3 from their own 27. No pressure. Hooker has his man first down out near mid.
This time they brought Tillman in a tight split to make that throw and catch.
A good play fake and a completion. Here comes pressure from Pitt. They don't get there. Flag down. Single coverage beaten again. All the way to the goal. To the nobody blocking it in a bunch. And they throw it in that direction. Nobody blocking. It didn't matter. It was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Field goal range. Hooker throws. End zone. Touchdown. Cedric Tillman.
Watch Hendon Hooker.
From this impression, what I get is that he seems to do reasonably okay with some route running. The Browns could definitely use a player that can get enough separation to, get a little bit of short, medium range passing going on, because that can really help with the game, as we have seen for a lot of different teams, especially the Patriots in past seasons. But I would say that I've seen the Browns draft like 3 guys at this point that did everything I've seen Tillman do here, and none of them have panned out too well. Part of it goes to the quarterback play. A lot more of it, I feel, goes, especially in recent memory, to the coaching of this football team. And I don't really like Kevin Stefanski that much. He is a mediocre coach being held up as great because he's doing better than trash with the Browns. That's just what I see there. So I'm not overly impressed by this, but I feel Tillman could maybe slip in, maybe the 3rd or 4th guy if he's lucky. Anything more than that, I think, is really going to just depend on how well he translates to the NFL and if Deshaun Watson can shake the rust from largely not playing for 2 years. So, the next selection is defensive tackle Siaki Ika. And this is kind of where it starts getting weird for me because I could see him starting, but I could also see him being on the bench. And that's just kind of weird for me to see in, well, a player like this. So it's, on the stat line, I'm not impressed. He is not useful in the pass rush. He is honestly not that useful in the run stuffing either. I mean, 10.5 tackles for loss in 4 years? That's not what a defense like this needs. It's especially not what a defense in, I would say, a reasonably talented running division needs. You know, you've got the Steelers, Najee Harris, the Bengals, Joe Mixon, and the Ravens have Lamar Jackson, but I don't really expect a defensive tackle to catch Lamar, so don't grill me for that one, but still.
Casey Thompson, pressure up the middle. He cannot escape it. Pistol with Dominic Richardson, the running back. Pressure up the middle. And Sanders goes.
That could have easily been stopped.
The Longhorns busy themselves tonight against Louisiana Tech.
Richardson in trouble.
Rivers hands it off.
And he's a big body in the middle, but that's really all that he's got going for him. Just a lot of these are, if he were against a better lineman, he'd be getting stopped.
As a first down to start this drive. Plumlee tripped up.
I can't say I'm impressed by this pick. This is what usually leads me to disrespect the Browns. So, the next player up is offensive tackle Dawand Jones. I can only really find one play, and that's him putting some skinny Michigan player on his ass. And that's not really much to talk about, so I'm just going to kind of dismiss him as initial backup. We'll see. With coaching, maybe he's a future starter, but right now it looks like he's just a depth pick. The Browns look like they've got their tackles. That moves us along to defensive end Isaiah McGuire. And this is another confusing pick for me because what the hell are the Browns doing picking a defensive end? You've got Myles Garrett. You've got your starter on the other side. Why? Now, he does look like he's a lot more valuable in the run game than the guy they picked at defensive tackle, which could maybe push him over there, I would say. And he's got more value in the sack game as well, so there's a little more potential here in terms of raw statistics. So we'll go over here and take a little look and see if I can identify which one.
Last season.
Top side.
First down. Downing goes down.
Good power through, swing under.
Comes back here, he gets his sack. Still in the tackle.
And a sack and a fumble. The ball's on the ground, recovered by Auburn.
Just because we have some struggles early doesn't mean we're going to give up. He swipes the tackle's hands down, runs into, oh my Lord, he hit the quarterback so hard he didn't know where he was at. Luckily, the offensive lineman jumped.
In 10. They're going to hand it off to Bigsby, AKA Tank. Robert, they've got
him for the entirety of the game.
Second down and 10. It's going to be Tank again. Nice crease, but it closed quickly. And from a guy who's done it to the tune of a Heisman, folks.
Oof. That right back got smoked.
Going to run it between the tackles again, Bigsby. Spin move, and that is rejected at the line of scrimmage. It's
the entire conference, and right now, early in this game, they're showing up. Isaiah McGuire, and I am really impressed with the confidence and the speed that Missouri has started this.
If you look at Pearsall, he blocked 3 dudes.
They go back to Johnson. Oh, my. Back to Etienne.
Jefferson under pressure, and he's going down. Question as to whether...
Yeah, so this pick I like a lot better. The problem is, if they do put him at defensive end, that's pretty much an automatic backup spot. I'm not sure he can really emerge with the Browns. We'll see, but it's one of those selections of, I think, with the right team, he could do something perhaps, but I don't really think that the Browns are it. So, move along to the next selection, which is quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I did hear a little bit about Dorian before the draft. Not a lot, but as I recall, he's, I think, supposed to be something of a mobile quarterback, so that's interesting to see. And I do like the stats here. They could be, better. 63% passing, not really what I want to see, maybe a little higher. But the touchdown to interception ratio is pretty damn good, 88 to 36. That's not bad. But the 2 points that immediately go against him is this is UCLA, Pac-12 school. I don't respect the Pac-12 because, let's face it, the only good team in the conference is usually Oregon, and they're pretty notorious for choking on every fucking possible thing they can. So, just take that little bit of a note beforehand, and here we go.
Moving up, running for it. Thompson-Robinson has the first down, still straddles the sideline, cuts it back. DTR inside the 20. He'll go.
Good field vision.
Touchdown, UCLA.
He knows how to run. I'll give him that.
Here they come. DTR over the middle. Challenge me if you want. I dare you.
Let's see.
DTR over the middle.
Yeah, that was a little low. I think that 25 could have picked that
Challenge
off.
me if you want. I
Or
dare
21.
you. Allen continues to run. Touchdown, Bruins. Play action. DTR fires over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. A big
A
hit,
risky
but
play
hands.
there, but
Bruins strike
results.
first here in Boulder.
Second down and 5.
Nice leverage.
DTR streaking down the sideline. He's got his man, and that is a beast. That's easy.
Bobo in motion. Play fake. Dorian Thompson-Robinson looks backside. Wide open. Touchdown, Bruins.
In the rain.
He's ready to throw here, Allison. In that rain on 2nd and 6. It sailed a little bit, but
Lucky that
ends up
defender
with
jumped
Jake
early.
Bobo on it.
Not go inside with a post move.
Bruins start in the red zone. Wide open. End zone and a touchdown. All it took was one play to Cam Brown.
First down. Play action. Thompson-Robinson will run. Thompson-Robinson will hurdle again and stays on his feet. What? Dorian Thompson-Robinson spinning and down at the
And he's just been
Yeah, that was a good play.
Thompson-Robinson on the move again.
Like I said, these mobile quarterbacks, they're flashy, but usually their throwing is the problem.
Thompson-Robinson spins away. He's got wheels and he's got room. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the hurdle and the...
Hate seeing that happen to my hometown college.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson keeping himself and into the end zone for the touchdown. Down, but
Feels like.
Thompson-Robinson wide open. All the way down to the 25.
Move in the front side. Don't forget he was on.
Okay. There's got to be something I'm not seeing here because this guy went in the 5th round. Josh Rosen went 10 overall, and it looks to me like Dorian Thompson-Robinson's a lot fucking better than Josh Rosen ever was. This is just what baffles me sometimes, that certain quarterbacks can move so high up boards for no reason. And then you've got guys like this that, hell, to me, I haven't seen a low light reel, so maybe there is something wrong with him, but it looks to me like this guy could be one of those sleeper starters that if your starter goes down, this guy plugs in and steals his job. So, I do like this one, and this should be a pretty good backup for Deshaun Watson, assuming, of course, he can beat Josh Dobbs and Kellen Mond, but that shouldn't be too hard. So, the next player down the list is cornerback Cameron Mitchell from Northwestern. Automatically, I'm not really expecting to see very much from this guy. It is the Big Ten, and as I have got a little shit for him in the previous video, I don't respect the Big Ten defensively. I'm sorry, but when there's only 2 teams worth a damn in the conference, I tend to not care how good those 2 teams are. The conference is not just 1 team, it's like 12 teams. If 10 of them are shit at defense, then it doesn't really matter how good 2 are. So, automatically, right off the bat, I see a lot of pass deflections, lack of interceptions, a bit of a high tackle rate, which suggests guys are catching the ball if he's not deflecting it. So, we'll come over here again and go to work on the highlights.
So far for Casey Thompson. This time Northwestern gets there, and the long ball anyway was on the hands of Palmer.
Bro, he puts this one right on the money. It's just a better play by Mitchell to rip that.
Was in the hospital. Thankfully, she's okay. Pressure here. Edwards escapes, throws. Incomplete.
Good reaction to the throw, boys.
A few weeks he's really gotten a hold on his play, and he's been a force on that Purdue defense like he was a year ago.
Downing is wrestled down.
Avion Smith off the pump fake. He's hit. Ball down. It's loose. Still trying to.
Coming on the corner blitz. Goes right through the running back. Through the football. Tackles. Coopins foresee. Goes right through Mosey, the tailback. And you see he can't scoop it. 3rd down, Thompson snaps off a throw, and this is intercepted. Cam Mitchell the other way for Northwestern. He got a block from Mueller. A bit too much on it.
Good catch.
Singleton again. Lost the football.
There's a hard hit.
It looks like another Northwestern takeaway.
Man, look at a great job by Hurd. I mean, he puts his helmet right on that football. Such an important player for positions this year. Started at him, and that ball gets popped right by 24. I mean,
Bedwell will throw it. McLaughlin got a hand up in the passing lane, and Bo Melton
gets it on 3rd down. Tries the edge. Close to a 1st down. Just
with just 4 down. Thompson on the run. Pass complete to Morgan. He is smacked.
Fields rolls out. And intercepted. Off rollout from Fields. And Olave is always that strong side wide receiver, and it's just an out route. He throws it over there. Olave usually 1-foots it right in the back. Jamison Williams is doing there. He turns upfield as if the ball's not coming to him. And an excellent play.
That's better.
Chopped down a 9-yard line. Fields under pressure. Fields scrambling. Fields taken down.
He's going to hold his water. That means he stays still until the snap. And then...
Alright, so this one's a bit interesting for me. This is not one that plays almost a bit safety-ish to me, so it's hard to really say where the Browns put this guy in my eyes, but if they're going to play him at corner, there's a chance that he might be their number 3 guy. Because I did look at the roster, what those guys' playtime looks like, and it doesn't really look like the Browns have an absolute nailed-down 3rd corner, though it does look like they've got the front 2, Denzel Ward, and I believe it was last year's 3rd-round selection, Martin Emerson. So it's possible this guy does make the team, may make a little impact at first, but it's hard to say with players like this because it looks like there's an opening. Some get there, some don't. So take it with a grain of salt. Next, we have center Luke Whippler, and this rounds it out and is another confusing pick to me because they've got 2 guys at this position already, Nick Harris and Ethan Pushik, and well, I'm not sure that. I don't really know too much about whether they're particularly good at playing center or not, but it still strikes me as odd to pick a center late when you've got 2 on roster. So, but we'll, of course, go to the film and look a little bit at what he can do, see if he can be valuable to the Browns, and push through on the first play. That's the best thing to see. Good job to get the block there, though. I think that is the same player repeated. Yeah, I'm mostly just seeing a backup type of player here. He's good at wrapping guys up, but I'm not sure in ways that wouldn't be penalties that are a little more strictly enforced in the NFL. And a lot of these guys have looked kind of linebacker-ish in size, so it's like, can you really handle the big defensive tackles, nose tackles, and that's kind of why I'm not seeing. It's like, how does he do against those players? So I would say this is probably a depth selection in the end. So that brings it to the end of the class, and like I said, it's a confusing one to me. The receiver could do pretty well, but then you've got a defensive tackle that doesn't really look like he should have been a third-round pick. You've got an offensive lineman that, yeah, he's got some interesting plays, but can he translate it? And even then, you've got 2 tackles already. If he's good, what do you do with him? And then weirdly, for the Browns, it's like these last 3 picks intrigue me the most. Shia McGuire, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Cameron Mitchell. These guys look like they could be late-round steals if they can manage to get on the field. But like I said, McGuire, the Browns have defensive ends. Dorian, the Browns are paying Deshaun Watson way too much to not have him on the field unless he's hurt. And Cameron Mitchell, he has a chance, but you're still probably at best the third corner on this team. And then it caps out with just a depth pick center that we probably won't hear from again unless I'm horribly wrong. But it makes it a very confused class to me, and it obviously, they traded these selections, the Browns and the Texans and Jets, so you're already at a bit of a disadvantage on draft day. You're trying to find better talent at later rounds because you don't have those front selections. So you're losing points on that. Then you lose more points on just the fact that it looks like you're not really looking at what you need to do, and it's one of those classes. I feel this is one of those 50-50 ones again, that it's either going to come out looking a lot better if everything rolls the right way for this class, and mind you, that may not be the right role for the Browns. If Dorian Thompson-Robinson pans out, that either means you traded a lot for nothing or Deshaun Watson got hurt. That's just how that goes. So I'd put this at about a C. I don't think that we're going to see a lot of these players really do much in a Browns uniform and beyond Cedric Tillman and maybe Cameron Mitchell. But But that is going to do it for this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I'm always happy to chat with people that watch these. And follow me on Twitter, hit the notification bell, the whole 9 yards. And we'll see you at the beginning of next week to kick off the AFC South, as I'm pretty interested to see what the Jaguars did after they kind of bounced off the bottom in a pretty spectacular fashion last year.